countries and has threatened the AAA rating of Britain. Let's get more now on those attacks on diplomats that the Israelis are firmly blaming on Iran. Earlier, we spoke to Arash Aramesh, an expert on Iran at Stanford University Law School in California. We began by asking him why the Israelis suspect Tehran of being behind the attacks.
Israel considers Iran to be its most potent and most determined enemy in the region. About a month ago, the Israelis carried out assassinations against Iranian scientists inside Iran and killed 2 nuclear scientists. About 2 years ago, the Israelis conducted the same operation and killed 2 or 3 more Iranian scientists. And Iran pledged to retaliate against these operations, and it seems that the Israelis they now believe that it was Iran behind these operations in India and Georgia. At the same time, we really don't know who was behind these attacks. Conventional wisdom would say that Iran has tried to retaliate against Israel using the very same method that Israel used taking out those nuclear scientists. But they have come out and denied it. Unfortunately, when it comes down to statements coming from Tehran, no one can really know where the truth lies. The Iranian government has a very capable overseas operation. So it is not unrealistic to believe that Iran could potentially take out or carry out such operations outside the Mideast. I don't think it has anything to do with Ahmadinejad. Ahmadinejad is not really a big player when it comes to matters of foreign policy. Decisions like this are made at the highest level of Iranian politics, and that is the office of the supreme leader. Another thing that comes up here is the role of Hezbollah. It was the 4th anniversary of the assassination of Imad Mughniya, a very senior Hezbollah official who lived in Damascus. 4 years ago, Israel carried out an operation and took out Imad Mughniya. And Hezbollah has since pledged to retaliate. It is possible that Hezbollah is behind this. And even though Hezbollah receives direct support from Iran, they have developed and they have grown to become a semi-autonomous entity. They will no longer seek permission for every single operation, politically or militarily, that they want to carry out. We have to see what happens. The U.S. has been very frustrated by acts of hostility, both on the Israeli and on the Iranian side. As you know, the U.S. has managed to build a historic coalition to increase pressure on Iran through diplomatic efforts and through economic sanctions. These actions carried out by Israel and by Iran have only intensified tensions and have caused major damage to our diplomatic efforts to try to bring Iran back to the negotiating table. If our goal is to stop Iran's nuclear weapons program and its nuclear enrichment program, and we are trying all diplomatic efforts, it's best for everyone to keep their cool and try to manage this through diplomatic efforts that have been very successful so far. Israel will obviously try to retaliate, but it would be best, again, for everyone to show restraint and try to manage and solve these issues through the diplomatic means and diplomatic channels.
Arash Aramesh there. The UN Human Rights Chief has blamed Syria's